Hey everybody, and welcome back to Romantasy Roundtable, a tale of Rick and Roses. I'm joined with my roses.
Amanda.
And Kim.
The mic is over here. And who?
Kim.
There it is. So, hello everybody. How have we been doing?
You know, we've been doing okay. We took a long break in between the episode before last and last episode, and now we really want to finish the book. So we're here.
Picking
we're
up
here
pace.
Quick. Yeah.
We're picking up pace. We have finished chapters 21, and we've read through 30. I'm learning.
Good job.
Slowly. Real quick, have you been reading anything else aside from this?
Oh, I started Did You Hear About Kitty Carr? But I haven't read enough of it to say anything intelligent about it yet.
And I am still going through that last Throne of Glass book.
You've been on that.
And 1,000 pages of battles. It is just a lot. But I'm going to finish it this weekend. Because we're going to start Fourth Wing.
Yeah, we're starting Fourth Wing. But speaking of battles, we do have a battle in the middle of these chapters that we've read.
Yes.
In regards to me, did I read anything? I don't think I read anything. No, I haven't read anything. I'm starting Rebel Witch tonight, though. So I'm very excited. All right, so, I was real ready to jump in this conversation because so much happened, and now I'm looking at our chapter recap, and nothing happened until midway through what we had to read.
Yes, that's correct.
So, I don't know, Poppy and Hawk are just flirting around with each other. Hawk finds a book, a little spicy diary book that she found, right? Is that what it was?
She snuck into the library, excuse me, because she wanted to go and find this diary that had been talked about by two of the ladies in waiting in one of the earlier chapters. So she snuck out of her room and went and found it. And then it continued.
Yeah.
I was letting you go back.
Yeah, and it seems to be just, one of the books that we read, and is this the point where he grabbed it from her and started reading?
I think so. I'm trying to find, if I can't find it, but there was a page of dialogue that I screen capped
it's
because
great.
It was so bad.
You two talk, and I'm going to find it.
Okay. Yeah, it's just every time they talk to each other, it's I'm literally waiting for them to be I know you are, but what am I? I don't actually think that the page of dialogue I'm talking about is at this point. I think it's a few chapters later.
I think it was later, too. What was interesting to me about this first chapter, about 21 and 22, is she's in the Athenaeum, and there is this moment, the Athenaeum, the library.
Thank you.
Where she is reading this diary in a room, and is comfortable, and then the Duke comes in. And so, again, we get all of this interesting sort of plot points about the Duke and a conversation that he's having with somebody else.
And this is actually important.
And we'll come back to that later.
Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting that the Duke gets a whole nother chapter about sort of how he's moving in the world.
Then they go for a little walk for the most part. There's a whole bunch of banter, right? We need to get to the good stuff. There's a whole bunch of banter. They flirt with each other for a while, right? Hawk teases her about the book. Then they go for a walk in the gardens, and I believe this is where Hawk is let's go for a walk in the gardens because you used to like to do that, and now you're scared to do it, and I want to...
Okay, just to back up a little bit, The rite is happening. So the rite...
Yeah, doesn't the rite happen before they go for a walk?
Correct.
Oh, really? I have that mixed up? Okay.
Yep. So the rite is going on, and she wants Tawny to be able to go and participate and have fun with the lords and ladies of waiting. And so she's I'm going to leave the rite early. And that's when Hawk is well, instead of going back to your room, let's go explore the gardens together.
Right.
And more.
I didn't realize that happened. Yeah, she's looking out for a friend. Tawny wants to dance, but I think what's important about that part is that it shows us that Poppy's not allowed to do anything.
And I will say I like that bit about how she doesn't have free will and she wants to live. I'm into that.
Yeah.
As a plot.
No, that was good.
Point. I found the dialogue.
Oh, it's great. It's good stuff.
It's when they're in the garden.
And I would like to say that I read this and I thought of these two.
Why? I demanded, almost wishing he hadn't spoken those words. Why would you say that? Are you seriously asking me that? Yes, I am. It doesn't make sense. You don't make sense. I hit his shoulder or chest, some extremely hard part of him. Huck grunted. Ouch. I so did not hit him hard enough for that. You're fine. I'm bruised. You're ridiculous, I retorted, and it's you who makes no sense. I'm the one sitting here being honest. You're the one hitting me. How do I not make sense? Because this whole thing makes no sense.
It's me.
Guys, okay, first of all, I said this on an earlier pod, but we're like, the fact that the dialogue is like so modern and so like, I know you are, but what am I? Like, I so didn't hit you hard enough for that. Like, at one point they literally say the word whatever. You can't say that and also refer to a love seat as a satay in the same chapter. Like, I'm not interested in that like anachronism. It's that's a no from me. Second of all, I wrote, what else did I write? This dialogue is killing me. And then I wrote, why is Poppy so dumb? Take a shot every time Poppy underestimates herself.
I think Poppy is dumb. Like, the way she's written makes her sound dumb.
I think she's
does.
dumb.
I think she's dumb.
Right.
Okay, but it's like,
But it's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
You know, like, why can't we have a strong, intelligent female protagonist?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who
Yeah.
also still maybe is only, you know, partially educated and is grappling with whatever. I don't think those things need to be distinct.
Yeah, I think she's written like she's dumb, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't get it. I also like, I think she's probably smarter than she's giving herself credit for, but she's like, I'm just the maiden, I don't know anything. And
Right.
I'm like, oh my God, it's just, the whole under the willow scene was insufferable.
I really hope it's where it's like, my hope is that she's dumb because this is what the Duke and them are making her to be, right? Like, she's only been taught what they want her to learn.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see.
I hope so.
I don't know.
So I will say, so they go for this walk in the garden, and they end up underneath this giant willow tree. And they're, yes, having this flirtation / more underneath the willow tree.
You can say it. They kiss.
They kiss. It's true. Scandalous.
Mm-hmm.
Until chapter 30, which is more scandalous. And so my undergrad had a similar willow tree. That was like the sex tree on campus, and it was like a rite of passage.
Oh.
And so I'm reading this chapter and like internally both like laughing and then also cringing to myself because I'm just like, oh God, this tree has seen it. Like this is not the first time this tree has been an audience for 2 members of the court.
Does this author have any ties to that institution?
I doubt it,
Okay.
but I have not looked.
Are you basing that on how she writes dialogue?
But then everything happens. Everything in the world happens.
It's like, there's so much going on. There's just like so much going on. So they hear screaming and
they run into Victor.
Victor comes out.
Yeah.
And Victor and Hawk are feuding, and Hawk says something like, you are important to Poppy, and that's why I'm not going to kill you right now.
Because you're like her dad.
Yeah, because he got dad zoned. And then they hear screaming, and and then Poppy has some like, I think some good catharsis with Victor, where she's like talking about, again, this like thing about like not having free will and how she wants to live and how she wants to be found unworthy. And like, I appreciate getting this like insight into who she is.
I think it's a really important moment.
Yeah. I liked that part.
Yeah, me too. That was good.
And then they're screaming.
Oh, and they're screaming, and they go in, and we got full on red wedding.
The Duke is dead.
The Duke is dead.
And again, why did we read a whole nother chapter that was about what the Duke was doing and who he's conversing with and how he might be, you know, playing God and killing dissenters on his own when they're in the dungeon? And then 3 chapters later,
It's gotta be
he is
important.
hung up on a wall.
Did
gotta
we
be
ever
important.
find out who he was talking to?
No.
No, but it's got to be important. That's got to be a big point. But still, he's dead, which is not what I was expecting in this book.
Rip.
No.
And not only is he dead, Everybody else is
Everybody
dead.
else is dead. So everybody else is dead, and now we texted about this, but there's a new thing. There's the Wolven.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's too many bad guys in this story. And I'm using bad guys broadly because I don't know if we know who the bad guys are, but like I don't need another species.
Yeah, so I'm actually a little confused with this. Kim pulled this up on her Kindle, I think it was yesterday, to show me. And the Wolven, I saw the word, but I thought it was just the type of mask those people were wearing. But I guess, and then we looked into it and I'm wrong. But when I read it, I was like, oh, they're wearing a wolf mask. But it does seem like there is a thing.
There's werewolves.
Right, there's
in
werewolves.
the vampire
We got
book.
werewolves
Yeah.
and vampires.
And zombies, apparently. Or perhaps.
Werewolves and zombies.
So, yeah.
So the Wolven and I think it was the Dissenters are just fucking. They're just laying waste to everybody.
Everyone's dying.
Everyone's dying. Like I don't even remember the names of these girls. That was like she was like Poppy was trying to get out. They died.
Yeah, the two ladies in waiting that we had met earlier. Like, one of them took an arrow through the eyeball. Great. Love that for her.
Real dead.
She dead. Then how did this part happen?
And they end up in a safe room.
They end up in a safe room.
Yeah, they end
right?
up in a safe room because the Duchess is like,
We'll be safe here.
we got this.
Yeah.
Like the Ascended can handle it, which is weird because the Ascended like don't usually fight, so that was kind of confusing. And then they're like, we'll be safe here. Well, false. They were not safe there. And the whatever dissenters are coming for them. And the minute Victor said, "You make me proud,"
Oh God.
I wrote, "He's dead.
He's dead. And guess what happened?
He's dead."
He dead.
And 500 points to Hufflepuff for me for calling
You
that
called it.
repeatedly over the last couple of episodes.
Yeah, and I think he died too early for
Way
me.
too early.
I don't know. That
I
means,
feel fine with when he died.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
2/3 of the way through the book.
But there's gonna be more books, which means he's an inconsequential character in the story. Right?
Yeah, everyone's inconsequential.
No, it's true.
We've got
It's true.
people are dying every 3 pages.
Right. So Victor
Ooh,
died.
she's back.
Yeah. So how did you feel when Victor died?
You got to come speak into the mic. We have a special guest here today. What do I do? Does she need to? Here, take my seat.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Clifford.
The mic is over here.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Clifford.
So we're talking about the part in the book when basically everyone dies and it's like the Red Wedding, and we just found out that Victor died.
It was weird that we knew really explicitly who all else died, and that Victor's death came later and was like the big shocker.
It was crazy because Victor had got dad zoned.
Right.
Can you believe that?
That he got dad zoned?
Yeah.
Not really. I can't really believe it.
What do you think is going to happen next?
What do you think's gonna happen next
Like with who specifically?
with Poppy?
oh,
Poppy and Hawk.
Yikes. I mean, Poppy and Hawk really need to align.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they've
Like
been
vertically?
aligned. I mean, Rick, what they do in their own time is not for me
I mean,
to
It's actually
speculate on.
explicitly stated.
Right.
to be fair, we've been waiting for them to
yeah.
align vertically.
And so, yeah, we want alignment.
I don't know.
I think it's horizontal.
Is it horizontally?
Horizontal, right.
Well, look, depends, you know. Is he a vampire? I don't know.
Right.
Is he a vampire?
Is he a vampire?
I mean, that's the question. So, I mean, he does possess certain qualities
Like what?
that lead me to believe that he might be.
Like what are those qualities specifically?
Just like the bloodletting and the nocturnal vibes.
The superhuman speed.
Well, yeah, but they all are kind of like fast and mythical and supernatural.
That's a show about a car.
And I feel we can draw parallels between cars and
Vampires.
just the horsepower, right? The speed, the sheer speed of Victor's nemesis,
Which is Hawk,
which is Hawk.
right?
Ish.
Love
I mean,
that.
that's debatable. Okay. Bye. Thank you.
And that's our bell. And that was Caitlin.
Thank you for joining us for Clifford's Corner.
That's Clifford's Corner. She did a great job. She hasn't read the book yet, but I think she nailed it.
I think she nailed it.
I think she nailed it.
Turns out you don't even need to read the book to be able to accurately describe it.
So Victor's dead. Everybody's dead. Poppy does some murder.
Oh,
I mean,
my
it's
God.
not even murder. It is she like fully decapitates and takes the man apart.
This
and
is,
hacks him into small pieces.
Lord Mazine.
Lord Farquaad.
Lord Farquaad
She
is also
left him-
dead.
She left part of a torso. That's
Yeah.
all that was left of him.
I've been watching the contemporary television show Bones, starring Emily Deschanel and David Boreanaz. Don't know if you've heard of it. Really modern, really current. And this seemed like the kind of dead body that they would discover on Bones.
True.
Chopped his head off, chopped his arms off, chopped his legs off, and kept on stabbing.
And kept on just chopping him into pieces. And honestly, may I go out on a limb? Couldn't have happened to a nicer fella.
I was real happy about that. I really loved the rage that she had. Like, she was really angry, and it was
Yeah.
amazing.
And
Okay,
then
but I'm not happy about it because these were our two main villains that we'd been introduced to, and developed we developed feelings for them, and now they are both dead.
Here's my problem with the whole book, actually, so for the most part. I wouldn't consider them the main villains. They're just two people in this city. We don't have a main villain because we don't have a plot.
society's the villain.
Sure, whatever. Society's the villain. But we don't have a thing that we're going to. I'm going to reference, a quarter of the red cover one, right? Like, we have to kill Amarantha.
But
what-
you don't know that yet at this point in the Court of the Red
You
Cover.
absolutely did.
You know, when do you find out who Amarantha is?
Like, in the middle of the book. Like, 50% of the book.
All right. Fine.
That's my only issue with that,
I
right?
forgot what I was going to say. But, so Poppy murders, mutilates.
Yep.
And then she's like, I'm going to take a little drug-induced
Sleep.
sleepy
nappy nap.
time. And Hawk is like tending to her. And then she gets word that she needs to go to the Capitol.
'Cause they got a piece. They got to get out of there.
Yeah, and she goes, like, when the Duchess tells her this, it is revealed that the Duchess was also abused by the Duke, which I think is important to know, that status is not the thing that protects you. Yet again, proving that society is the villain. So they're on a journey, and they're on some horses,
Yep.
and they're going through the land, and I have written...
And then they're in the Blood Forest.
Blood Forest, right?
Now there's fucking rats. There's giant rats. There's capybaras.
Bear
They're
rats,
gonna kill you.
barrets.
I don't know what they're called, but
Yeah.
again, there's too many things for me to keep track of.
Well,
Yeah.
they fought some big rats.
Did they fight them, or did they just avoid them?
I thought they just avoided them.
I don't
just-
think they fought anybody.
They were
avoided-
talking about them, and they were talking about the Craven, and so they were like, we got to get through the Blood Forest quickly. We can't light a fire when we stop for the night. So Poppy's going to be super cold.
How's she going to get warmed up, guys? Soup's on.
He's so excited that he got to do that.
I've been holding that bell forever this morning. So we're making some
We
soup.
should have some videos
We
of like our
finally-
very different faces right now.
We finally got some soup.
Yep, it's a little bit. It's a little bit of soup,
A
but we
little
still.
bit of soup.
But only one person got the soup.
Only one person got the soup, which I was fine with.
Yeah, she's never had soup before. She needs to see if she likes soup. I think she liked the soup.
I do believe she liked the soup.
I don't believe the soup put her to sleep.
Really?
That's not usually the way the female body works.
I don't know. She seemed to go to sleep right after the soup.
I don't know if I agree.
Okay. we'll
That's
leave that
all.
there.
That's all I'm
That's
going to
that.
say. Yes, so then I wrote, my issue with the dialogue is whatever you just learned what an adverb is, but it's also like the maiden sat down on the settee. So that's what I meant. Somebody said something about a royal husband. I didn't qualify that. And then I also said, I still don't understand the structure of who ascends and who is chosen and who is sacrificed and who all of these clowns are. I need a map. I need a tree. I need a decision chart.
Yep.
I don't know what's happening. And there's a lot of lore, and it feels like whenever we learn a new thing, it's not really like reiterated. And then there's like there's new villains, and then the villains be dying, and it's just like, I don't know.
Right,
I
now
don't
we
know what's
have all
happening.
these new guards.
We have new
and-
guards. We have new people.
I don't know
I'm-
their names, and
Correct.
I know I'm not going to Google them to find out.
Right.
Have we gotten to your spoiler?
We have not gotten to my spoiler yet, so my next question for you is, now that we're another episode in,
I
what
need
do
to-
we believe my spoiler is?
No, I need to know what character you were looking for. We know the character. You said you were looking up a small character. I need to know who it was.
Is that character dead?
That character is dead.
Already?
Yes.
I mean, they're all dead.
Who was
Minus
it?
Poppy and Hawk.
What character did you look up?
It was one of the ladies in waiting.
That's what I figured.
Oh, her.
I think her
So
name
Lauren
is...
or Defina?
I believe
Miss
her name is
Mil-
Lauren.
Okay.
And then there was a moment, like, Agnes came back, and I was like, who the fuck is
I don't know who
Agnes?
Agnes is.
Agnes is the woman whose husband was turned, and she had to kill the
Oh.
husband. And I almost Googled Agnes, and I was like, nope, don't do it. And so I didn't.
So you Googled Lauren.
I did Google Lauren. And I found out that she was dead.
Yeah.
But I
But-
also found out something else about a different character when I Googled that Lauren was dead.
Okay.
And I believe we're going to find the answer to that, and like we're going to have the spoiler revealed in the next 10 chapters. Shout out to Cindy, who has finished the book and about halfway through the book wrote down a note to me about how she thought the book ended. And that is the spoiler that I have received.
Okay.
So we have a meeting that we're late to.
All right,
shoot,
we'll wrap
we
this
did
up. So what do we think is going to happen next? We have 10 chapters left, right? Something has to happen with Hawk. We need to find out something with the Dark One. We need to find out. So the Dark One needs to come around. We haven't seen the Dark One yet. We know that there's some sort of vampires. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna go off of what you guys said, right? Where you said that they're eating the babies.
They're eating the babies.
Yeah.
They're not eating the babies.
They're drinking the babies.
They're drinking the baby's blood because everyone there is a vampire.
Everyone's a vampire.
The Ascended are vampires.
The Ascended are vampires. I believe that they are not going to go to the Capitol. That's my speculation.
I think they're going to go to the capital and that her ascension is going to be moved up.
Oh,
And so
she's gonna
then
have to
she's going to
choose.
or start to go through whatever the ritual is, and we're going to get all of this, better understanding of the Ascended, etc. And she's going to, break out of it because she's like, oh shit, this is terrible and bad. These aren't the bad guys. Or these are the bad guys.
This is
And-
the bad place.
Yeah.
We don't have a bad guy yet, and there's 10 chapters left.
So,
Is Hawk the bad guy?
whoa.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think he might be Wolven.
Wolven.
Because of the animal
speed.
instincts and the speed.
I still think he's a
Interesting.
vampire.
Okay. All
He's an
right.
Atlantean.
Kim and I have to go.
right.
So
We're very
we're
late.
going to let you know that we are going to finish the book. That's 11 more chapters through chapter 41. Today's Wednesday. Rick wants to try to do it by Friday. I've requested an extension until Monday, but I'm going to do my best to finish by Friday. But the next time you hear from us, we will have finished the book,
Yep.
and we will be
Working on our way to Fourth Wing.
ready to start talking about it.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.